All right, guys, I'm going to take a look at Bombardier stock. It's on the TSX. The ticker is BBD.B. There might be a version on the OTC. I think there is, but I don't think there's much volume on that side. Let's take a look at it on the TSX. I normally would trade the B shares over the A shares because there's a lot more liquidity and a lot more volume and tighter spreads in the B shares. So I would stick with the B shares if I was trading this stock. It's been on a really nice uptrend where you had that double bottom all the way back here. Double bottom. And just been skyrocketing since then. Healthy consolidation on the weekly. A little bit of inverse head and shoulders. Breakout to the upside. Pull back, but held its previous resistance area as a support. Little inverse head and shoulders again. Bullish. Cup and handle. Fire move to the upside. Volume spike. Consolidated. Broke back above that volume spike. Just looking really good all the way out. Now we're getting the volume spiking a bit up here. Getting a little bit of these upper wicks on the daily. The weekly is kind of overextended. Getting a little too far from the red line now. And we're testing that 150-week moving average, the light purple line, which could act as a resistance area, and it has before around here, where it passed it, but then it acted as a resistance area, and it dropped from there. It's quite a bit overbought on the weekly time frame on the RSI. You have that little volume spike last week with an upper wick of profit taking. I do think this stock, and when you have that, psychological $150 resistance area, it hit a $151 today. I do think this stock might pull back in the short term, but I do like the long-term outlook. I like that they divested a lot of their train assets and a lot of their other assets, and that they're focusing strictly on making private jets. I think that's a good business. Apparently, they make very good private jets. The Global 7000, I think it's called. It's a very nice jet. They have a lot of orders already for it. I think their margins are higher on that. And they raised a lot of money through selling a lot of their train assets and stuff so that they could have a good chunk of cash on hand and pay off a decent amount of their debts, because this company has, or had, I think they still have a decent amount of debt on the books. It's in the billions. Last I heard, it was upwards of $9 billion, but they sold their train business to Alstom, which is from England, I believe, for around $7 billion or so. And I think Bombardier put around $4.5–5 billion of that in their pocket. Double check these numbers. I'm not exactly sure, but that definitely bolstered their balance sheet and helped out their financials. And that's in big part why this stock has been on a nice uptrend. You also have to think that since COVID and viruses and all these rules, more rich people might be buying or flying in private jets, and that could increase the demand for a company like Bombardier's private jets. So that's what I see when it comes to this company. Although on the chart, I do think it could see a pullback in the shorter term. I would probably look to buy around $1.28 to $1.35. I think could be a good entry area. This is not financial advice. I'm not saying you should do that, but that's a clear support level, $1.28. If you can get it as close to there as possible, set your stop loss below. Next clear support is $1.26. I think if you could get in around this area, $1.25, $1.26, I don't know if I would set my stop loss at $1.28 because it could flush a little bit lower, but I do think this $1.25, $1.26 area would act as a support, and I think that could be a good entry area. There is a gap here. Bears will want to try to fill that gap, so there is that potential to keep that in mind. Overall, though, the chart has been very bullish. I just wouldn't be surprised we get some sort of consolidation like this for the next few weeks or so before potentially continuing higher. That's my thoughts on Bombardier stock. Thanks for watching. This is not financial advice. I'm just doing analysis. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and please press that like button. It helps me so much. check out my website, 10baggerstocks.com. There's a lot of stuff there. And check out my Instagram as well, as I post quite a bit on Instagram. Thanks, guys.